Hello and welcome today. You might recognise the two of us. I'm Carolina Bauch and I've got Christin Curtis with me today. We've had a lovely chat a while ago all about me, and today I want to talk about you and
Yeah,
want to ask you some
yeah,
questions, um, especially because Christin just told me she puts people to sleep for a living, and I think
yes,
that's really interesting.
yes. And I
So,
charge them for it.
you charge them for it, yes. So, how do you do that?
Ooh, interesting. So there is lots of different techniques,
Mhm.
but my most preferred one is kind of very gentle, progressive relaxation. That's what most people kind of expect as well when they come to me, to ease into that trance gently and then use a deepener to get them into a hypnotic trance. So yes, I'm not an anesthesiologist. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, also specializing in age regression. So I do put people to sleep for a living,
Yeah.
but we do also talk. And yeah, so my approach is quite gentle, I would say.
What I'm hearing through, and obviously I know sort of your background, I would have always introduced you as a hypnotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree that's correct?
Yes, so I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. That is very different from stage hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
That is also very different from being, sorry, just a hypnotist.
Okay.
So I'm fully accredited, in short, obviously,
Yeah.
and I'm using this for purposes to help people with their mental health and with many aspects of their lives.
Oh, okay. So you've touched on the stage hypnosis, and
Yeah.
I think obviously that's well known with like I don't know, can't think of one now, but see loads of people then come with like a big stigma
Mm,
about what hypnosis or hypnotherapy is.
mm.
So could you sort of remove that stigma a little bit by telling us in your own words what you think hypnotherapy really is?
Yeah. So hypnotherapy in the therapy rooms where I work is not getting you to pretend you're a chicken or do anything silly. It is not mind control. People that do stage hypnosis, they are very well trained in knowing who to kind of pick from the audience.
Mhm.
And if someone really didn't want to pretend they're a chicken, they wouldn't. So you can't make someone do something they don't want to
Yeah.
do. Hypnosis is a state of deep relaxation and focus. And actually, there's nothing that special about it. You're in a natural state of hypnosis a couple of times a day when you wake up and when you fall asleep, just a moment in between the worlds. And when you like daydreaming, long car rides. So there's a lot of situations where you go into natural hypnotic trance
Mhm.
in the day without even really noticing it. It's just that when you come to me, then obviously there's a purpose to it. So I help you to get to that state, get you a little bit deeper,
Okay.
and then we do the work.
Yeah. So would you say one could put them in a hypnotic state themselves, but with your help, you
Yeah,
can do it maybe faster, maybe to deeper levels, and
yeah,
maybe getting better results?
yeah. So all hypnosis is self hypnosis. So I couldn't put someone in a hypnotic trance if they didn't want it.
Mm.
And I also couldn't get you to imagine standing in a forest if you decide to stand near a busy motorway,
Okay.
then there's nothing I can do about it. So all hypnosis is self hypnosis, self guided. Yes, you can get yourself to that stage, absolutely. And I do have clients sometimes that are very into meditation and even have put themselves into hypnotic trances. And that often say they're just struggling with the kind of work so they can get themselves to that state, but then to actually do, yeah, to progress, to do the things that need doing, that's the hard bit.
Yeah. Okay. So you've said, um, you ask people to imagine themselves standing in a forest, and some people like myself struggle with actually visualizing. Um, so would you say that hypnosis doesn't work for people like me who struggle with visualization, or does it not really matter if you can actually visualize?
So what I do is, obviously I get to know my clients first before hypnosis, and we build that rapport. So you don't have to be able to visualize. We can work on a more kinesthetic basis, where we really go into feeling, into hearing. So I find out what is their preferred way of learning, their preferred representational system, and then work with that. Also, I really go into understanding what it is they like. So if someone told me they like the outdoors and their favorite part of the world is like in a forest or on a mountain, then I try to sometimes integrate that. But it is not all guided visualizations like this or metaphors. It's very much personalized. But a lot of people seem to like the outdoors and tell me that. So it's like almost like I'm attracting those kind of clients.
Yes.
And that comes really easy to me. And work with metaphors, which work amazing on the brain. Can really connect and learn through them.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So you seem really passionate about all of this.
Yes.
And see, I know you for some time, and you've always been a hypnotherapist since I know you.
Yeah.
But I also know there was a time before you've been a hypnotherapist. So you might have been thinking quite some time to train as one, but what made you actually get into that topic?
Yeah, I think although many like stories lead into me going into that line of work over the years, I think the main part is about 10, 11 years ago, when I was in a very dark place, going through a divorce, being in a foreign country with a baby, suffering with postnatal depression, and not really getting the help. And then I ended up in an NLP-based course for women, which was called Strong Women, which really, really helped me to get to know myself, to a point where a year after, I think, I was in a much better place, and I said, I want to help people. I want to become a life coach. So I did. I became a life coach. But I got very much drawn to working with the subconscious mind, because if you think about your mind, about 5% to 10% of your mind is conscious, and the rest is subconscious. All your beliefs, all your knowledge, all your memories, everything is in there, all the patterns. And that's a big one. A lot of problems relate to, people coming to me saying, I can't stop the chocolate eating at night, or smoking, or things like that. But also anxiety, which is often linked to, well, sometimes traumas. It's literally so much to it. I could talk to you for hours about it. But the subconscious mind has really just taken me in. I was like, this is where I want to work. This is where I see really good results. So that's where I'm going to stick and get better at it, and constantly progressing in that same area.
Amazing. So I know you can't share exact details of work you have done with clients. But would you be able to sort of touch on what your biggest impact or maybe success has been with one of your clients?
Yeah.
If you can.